what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ways of the Sith. I'm your host, Ways, and thank you so much for taking time to check out the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Blue Sky, X, and Instagram at Ways of the Sith. So I'm here with the Star Wars Black Series Skeleton Crew Wave. The show is about to debut, and normally I wouldn't pick figures up for a show that I've never seen or characters that, I don't know anything about. But these look cool. I was able to pick up most of the wave through my local GameStop, so it wasn't too much of a hassle. Just every time I popped in, I'd find one or two of them, and eventually just completed the whole wave. So we'll take a whole look at it. We'll see how these fare. Hopefully the show is good. That's all I'm gonna say. If not, some of these will be used for customs and probably end up in a bunch of random displays. But they look all right. Let's take a look at them. So first up, we'll take a look at Pirate Captain Brutus, and this is a cool looking figure. This was the first one I picked up in the series simply because I just thought the character looked awesome. I could use this in either my Jabba's / Cantina playset or Bounty Hunters or whatever. He'll fit into pretty much any kind of display. I love aliens. I love getting new ones in the line, something that they don't do very often. So it's cool to get this. Overall, he looks cool. He comes with all the guns, all the deco. Looks really fantastic with the bandolier. Again, has those weird legs that are on that old articulation. So it's a little bit difficult. You can't swing the leg out anymore to get any kind of movement besides that. So that's just a disappointing thing with Black Series now. But the figure looks cool. The detail looks good, and you'll easily be able to make a lack out of this if that's what you want to do. So here's a look at Jude Law's figure and character, Jadna Nawood. I think I'm saying that right. He looks cool. I'm not the biggest Jude Law fan, but from the trailer, you can see that he uses the Force at some point. The rumor going into the show is that he is like a former Jedi that's now just become a pirate. So I gave him a lightsaber. He doesn't come with one. It's not one of the accessories that he comes with, but I gave him one. I have a rule in my collection. I always try to pick up the Jedi simply just to expand my Jedi shelf with my clone troopers and stuff like that. But he looks cool. The likeness to Jude is very good. And this figure does have some posability with this big cloak. Luthen was one that kind of suffered from really not being able to move, having the bigger cloak, but this one doesn't seem to have that much of a problem. He comes with his pistol, which looks pretty cool, very piratey, and then this just kind of slides off, so it's very easy to pop on, pop off, and you can take a look at that Jude Law sculpt. It is pretty spot on, honestly. I like him with the head wrap on. I think it looks cool, but it's a great way, to have multiple options to display him in your display. So here's a look at Little Blue King himself, Neil, and I think this is probably the one everybody's gonna grab just because he's an alien, he looks cool, he'll fit into any display you want to put him into. I think this is going to be the fan favorite character out of the show. He just looks so awesome, and he comes with a lot of accessories, and they engineered these well. So again, these figures actually have a little bit more mobility on the joints because they're smaller, which is rare, I guess you could say. I love the way this looks. He probably could be a little bit more bluer. He's a little bit grayish blue as opposed to being like a brighter blue like he appears in the show. So that's something they definitely could have fixed. But it's cool that they did this with all the kids. They made the backpacks to where they can actually hold the stuff. So his flashlight fits in the little hole there. He's got binoculars that clip onto his belt in the back there, and then comes with the walkie-talkie radio. So pretty awesome. I think he's adorable. I think he'll be the fan favorite out of this show no matter what. But really cool. So here is a look at Fern, and again, another pretty cool sculpt. The character comes with a lot of detail, especially on the jacket, all the patches and stuff. Looks pretty cool and looks really good to the actress that's playing her. Again, a different backpack than Neil, but also has the slot where you can put the flashlight into there. That's all she really comes with, though. Unfortunately, no other stuff. It would have been nice to get a couple more accessories with all of these figures due to them just being small, but the detail looks good, the sculpt looks great, and again, if you're not a fan of the show, you'll definitely be able to use these sculpts for other characters, which will be cool. Here's a look at KB, and I think this is a female character, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it's a female character with that Star Trek kind of eyepiece, which is kind of cool, I guess, blending the two worlds, but again, has a different sculpt to her, and has the backpack with the hole that you can put the flashlight into and store it there. Really cool. This would be a perfect young Boba Fett to use. You can just pop this off, get a young Boba head, and very easy custom with this. So again, if you're not a fan of the show, I feel like the uses for these figures are, you know, vast. But pretty cool, looks good, and I dig it. I'm interested to see what's the purpose of this visor, and if it's like eyeglasses, or, you know, she's blind, or whatever the case may be. But it should be interesting. Definitely a nice sculpt, though. And last but not least, here's a look at Wim. And in my opinion, this is probably the best looking sculpt and figure out of all the kids. This likeness looks identical to the character, and just looks really, really cool. Again, a totally different backpack than all the other 4 characters. He also has some extra slots for other weapons. Well, not weapons, but I'm not sure. I think this is a wrench. And he's got like some sort of like rake and shovel that's molded into the backpack. That looks cool. And then he comes with a flashlight and then the radio like Neo. So I like this. I think this looks great. Again, you know, if this isn't for you, I totally understand, but I think they look awesome. And I think, you know, compared to the characters, they really were able to capture them. And it's cool that they have these figures out in time for the show to debut. Well, that'll do it for today. Overall, I think they're pretty decent. The kids are actually better than the adults, if that makes any sense. The kid bodies have that old school articulation that Black Series had previously, despite still having the single joints on the arms and the legs. They do have like that ball joint, you know, on the thigh, as opposed to that weird like swivel that they have going on now with the more current adult figures. So for the accessories they come with, for the looks, like all the portraits look fantastic. I think it's a cool wave. Again, the jury's not out. The show hasn't debuted yet, so we'll see how it fares and how, you know, enjoyable the show is. But if not, I feel like you could easily make some customs out of these kids. We don't get a lot of kid bodies, so if you're not a fan of the show, you'll definitely have some fodder to use for some other characters down the line. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you're going to be picking this up or passing, and let me know how excited you are for Skeleton Crew. Thank you so much for taking time to check out the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, may the force be with you. This is The Ways.
We would be honored if you would join us.